I've got a couple guests joining me today from the production of Pippin that's happening at the Ghostlight in Benton Harbor. I have Laurie Lawrence Gist and also Colin Wagner. You guys, big part of this show, not performers per se, but you are kind of the behind the scenes people. Laurie, you are the director. And so we'll talk more with you first because you have been, from what I've been hearing, you've been dreaming of doing this show for a long time, right?
Well, I have done the show before,
Mhm.
and it is one of my very favorites. So all it took for Paul to get me to do it was a text that just said Pippin ? And I replied, "Yep."
Paul's one of those people that he just, when he knows that there are people that are talented or have the skills to make a great production, he will just ask you questions and hook you in somehow. And he did that with you. Why is Pippin one of your favorites?
I don't know. I did it back in 2007 for Plainwell High School. And that program was so amazing. And I had such energy and such wonderful cast members and kind of carte blanche on what I could do with it. I had a lot of freedom with choreography. So we just had so much fun. And the show has undergone huge changes with the revival on Broadway. So the chance to do it again and do it in an entirely different way, that was really enticing. And I just, I love the music. I love the story, everything about the show. So I'm really excited to have had the opportunity.
Yeah, so you're looking at this at a totally different lens, now a new perspective as a new revival has happened, and there's other things to look at and say, "Ooh, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this." So you're taking a whole new spin on this.
Yeah, with the revival, it just took on an entirely different acrobatic feel to it. So what I really wanted to do was take the Fosse and put it together with the contemporary acrobatics and really create something that's sort of an in-between, which I think we've been pretty successful with. I'm very happy with it.
Nobody's gotten hurt or anything like that? No injuries?
Why would
from the
you say
acrobatics?
that? Oh my gosh, knock on everything that you have around you that is
No,
wood.
they say break legs, right? But you're not.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
that's
no, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. No, no. This is first. Tell me a little bit more about Pippin, the story for people that may not know it.
Yeah, Pippin is a coming of age story that everyone can relate to. This young man has just graduated from university and doesn't really know what to do. We all go to school from the time we're either 3, 4, or 5 years old until we aren't allowed to anymore or until we get that degree. And then we go into the real world, and it sometimes is really disorienting. So he has a really hard time. He tries a lot of different things. He thinks that this and that is all going to fulfill him, and nothing works. But the players around him are just trying to guide him in all the right and wrong avenues. It's a push-pull the entire time. And the leading player has huge plans for him. But he's trying to find it on his own. And I think that's what we can all relate to, is we have all these players in our lives that are great for us and sometimes not. And we're just trying to figure it out. And that's, again, something that everybody that comes to see the show will be able to relate to that story and then find elements of humor and love and beauty and mischievousness. And, it has everything.
Yeah, and it has everything as far as it's like the superstars of Broadway coming together for that too, with Stephen Schwartz, who later on did Wicked, and then you have Bob Fosse, who was like, if anybody knows theater or dance, Bob Fosse. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure you've really enjoyed just putting this show together, the choreography and all the whole production, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's been fun from the get-go, and this cast has been phenomenal. Colin has been awesome. The exchanges with Colin have been, do you like this? Yes. Okay, great. It's just been so easy the whole time. So we've had just a lot of fun.
Now, I know you do a lot of stuff with the Citadel. So, I mean, the Ghostlight being right down the road from you. Have you done stuff before as far as choreography for any shows in the past?
Well, Paul and I have worked together since 2005 on a lot of shows. I couldn't even tell you how many. But since he moved in next door 5 years ago, we haven't had an opportunity yet to do anything together. And we, of course, have been talking about it since the beginning. and trying to figure out what the right time and what the right show and everything is. And it just finally came together, and I'm just so happy that it did.
All it took was a Pippin question mark. Had Paul just thought of that from the beginning, he would have had you locked in.
Exactly.
Before we talk with Colin, talk to me a little bit about this cast, because you got some talented people on this cast, right?
Yeah, we really do. We ended up with exactly the right people in exactly the right roles. And, I mean, I could pat myself on the back for that, for casting, but it's really everybody came with the energy and the focus. And it being a summer show, it could go either way. People want to have a good time. And I told them that at the first read through. I want everybody to enjoy this experience, but I expect everybody to work. And everybody said, yes, we agree totally. And we're on board. So Brady West as Pippin is, I think, a perfect Pippin. He's really dug in. And to see the little subtle, nuanced things that he brings to the role and changes decisions every time we look at it. I mean, he's so smart and he's so intuitive. So it's exciting to see him work on it like that. And then, of course, with Paige, Paige Mulick is one of my lifelong students. I've been teaching her since she was 5. And, she was my flower girl in my wedding. So there's a deeper personal connection with her. And I could talk to you probably for a week about how proud I am of her. But her immense talent and energy and focus that she brings to the role, and Marielle Utadi, who also is playing the leading player, they both have that same energy and passion and talent. So it's just been so cool to see them work together.
That's so cool. And it's like you said, it's a challenge of doing any production of any kind, but especially during the busyness of summer for anybody to be able to really get locked in and do a show. But looking forward to it. It's going to be at the Ghostlight 3 weekends of this, the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, the 15th through the 18th, as well as the 22nd through the 25th. GhostlightBH.com to get all your info, your tickets, and all that good stuff. Let's talk with Colin about this production, because you are the production designer. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
You've done stuff with Ghostlight before, right?
Yep, I've been here for about a year now. Cabaret was my first show, and I've done pretty much every show since then. So throughout their season, I'm designing all the shows.
So you, as Laurie was saying, you guys have been communicating throughout this entire production. This, figure out what works, what doesn't work. For the Ghostlight, when you go there, it's a relatively small space, which the intimacy of being there with the actors and part of being really part of the show is cool. But as a production designer, is that a challenge or an advantage to have a small space?
It's both. With this show, I really wanted to have the audience feel like they are, right in there with them. So there are certain things that, I don't want to reveal because they're really cool. But, we do make the audience feel as though they are on stage with the actors. And, since it is a small space, it is easier to do bigger things. But, at the same time, it is a small space. So you do have to kind of say, okay, well, that actually won't fit even if I try to do it this way. So there's a lot of give and take. But it's been a lot of fun.
What has been a big challenge for you during this that says, oh man, I really wish we could have done this, but we can't?
For this production, there was just a lot that I wanted to do. I wanted to make a circus tent. We were talking about doing it in the round. And I think in the round was a really fun idea. But once we kind of laid it all out, we were like, this is not going to work the way we think it is. So we ended up going with more of a thrust seating, which I think works better than in the round. So
yeah, you probably wanted to do it in the round, and then you try to fit all that stuff in there, and then you probably have somebody pipe up and say, yeah, where do we put the people?
Right.
That's exactly what happened
for the show. That's the most important, one of the most important elements of that show. So have you have a favorite thing that you've done for this? I mean, I don't want you to reveal any great things, but anything that's been your favorite, as you could say, like a kind of thing you put on your resume is, this is what I did. This is an awesome thing.
I think the lighting for this show and just walking into the space, there's an atmosphere that is just Pippin, you know, and it's magical and it's fun. And that is something that, you know, was an idea in my head, and I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and it looks amazing. So I think this space in general, just walking in, is really like that resume. It's going, you know, above the fold.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and for people that may not be theater fans and maybe sports fans, this is Pippin, Pippin, not Pippin as in the former Chicago Bulls player. Just want to clarify that for anybody that was wondering. That would be a fun musical, though. I mean, if anybody wants to write that. Laurie, what has been a big challenge for you putting this all together?
Again, the space, a challenge, but it's okay. Like, we were able to fit it in. I think that was the only point in this procedure that I got a little panicked about, because we started staging at the Citadel. And if you've been to the Citadel, I have a very large, beautiful, open studio. And we did, you know, try to mark things out, but you just never know. And when you go into the theater, I was like, oh no, okay, so I don't want to hurt anybody in the audience. I don't want my performers to get hurt. It's a cement floor versus the Marley that we were working on. So there were a lot of little things that, you know, there were adjustments that we had in the rear view mirror, but we weren't totally ready. So that was the only moment that I kind of said, okay, well, cool, we're going to give this a go and try it, but we have worked it all out. And like Colin said, when you walk into the space, you feel it. You feel like you're at the circus, and you feel like you're about to be part of the show. So it is really a cool atmosphere to walk into.
Yeah, I was almost thinking with how intense this show is with dance and acrobatics and things like that, if you had considered, you know, some sort of subfloor Marley sort of thing just to cushion the space just a little bit. But that adds another challenge in the element of the production. And yeah, exactly. Money is another big thing of putting that all together. But this is awesome. I look forward to this. I'm sure as you have getting ready for this production, you're probably already starting to sell out some of the productions. And it opens this coming weekend.
Thursday.
Man. All right. So any mentions you guys want of anything as far as, I don't know if you had a list of sponsors or supporters that are part of this production, if we wanted to mention some of them?
We do have a lot of supporters. Let me pull that up a second if I can find it really quickly.
Yeah. Ghostlightbh.com is how you can get info and tickets on all this stuff. And of course, this is the summer finale of the production. So this is one you definitely don't want to miss. You got sponsors now for us?
I do. I can't read them. Oh, there we go. Lake Michigan Nephrology, On Base Productions, CIA, Mosquito Mob Service, the Citadel Dance and Music Center, and Chicago Records Management Incorporated.
Wonderful. Well, looking forward to this. As we said, this is opening at the Ghostlight. Opens this weekend, runs this weekend, next weekend, and the following weekend. You want to get your tickets for that, and then also look at the rest of their schedule, because they've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up. Rocky Horror will be later on in October. Laurie, you have any you gonna get in on that at all?
I don't know yet if I'll do another guest narration. I did that last year for them. They are doing 3 weekends this year, so that's moving up as well, and it's a great production. So if you missed it last year, don't miss it this year.
I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, really, I think now that they've hooked you in for this show for Pippin, I think you're pretty much going to be a lifer now.
I think we've got some plans on the back burner.
Very cool. And Colin, are you going to be part of that? There any other productions in the rest of the run?
Yes, I will be here for Rocky, and we'll see you the next year, but probably as well. So.
Well, again, this is going to be a great show, a lot of fun. Anything else you guys would like to add?
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's a great time. I highly recommend coming.
Yes.
Definitely want to check it out. Ghostlightbh.com. That's how you get all the info. Check them out on their socials as well. I'm sure you guys have already been sharing a lot of behind the scenes photos and things. So go check that out. But don't forget to get your tickets. But again, Laurie and Colin, thank you so much for